This is a training session on producing job costing reports. Job costing, for the most part, is not an entry module. We can enter new jobs and cost code budgets, but on a day-to-day basis, most of our accounting entries will be in the form of accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and general ledger transactions. As we enter these transactions and post them into the system, in most instances they will be charged to valid jobs and budgeted cost codes. At any point after these subsidiary ledgers have been posted, we can print job costing reports that will reflect the changes. The job costing reports are listed on the job costing menu. The main job costing reports include analysis reports, summary reports, detail listings, change order listings, and bonding reports. These reports can be classified into 3 different levels of reporting: job level reports, cost code level reports, and transaction level reports. Job level reports contain summarized information about each job. An example of the job level reports is the summary report. On a job summary report, each line item of the report shows summary information about one job, with grand totals for all the included jobs at the bottom of the report. As we enter the Summary Reports menu option, we can elect to change the limits for printing our report. Here we see that we can choose from a number of different report types. You can experiment with all these different types. We're going to select the Costs by Type report. We're not going to limit the report by job. We're going to let the report print for all jobs. When we click the Print button, we see this report displayed on the screen. As I mentioned before, there are many jobs listed with one line of summary information for each. And then there are totals at the bottom of the report. This is a job level report. The other job level report is the bonding report. As we select and print the bonding report, we can see all our jobs listed with lots of columns of information on each job stretching across the page, and grand totals at the bottom. The next level of reporting is the cost code level. As the name implies, these reports summarize job information by budgeted cost code. The cost code level reports are retrieved from the Analysis Reports menu item. Here we can change the printing limits of the desired report. We see that there are many limits that can be set for this cost code level analysis report. On the Formatting tab, we see that we can select from many different report formats. The complete listing is the most popular, but we can select any of these other listings, which will arrange our information in different columnar formats. However, the basic format of an analysis report is as follows. As each cost code is listed, one line of information about that cost code is printed stretching across the page. The report then moves to the next cost code. This continues until the report has printed information about all the selected cost codes. Job totals are printed at the bottom of each job, and grand totals are printed at the end of the report. We'll print one of these reports for demonstration purposes. As I mentioned, we see each cost code with its description and information about the cost code stretching across the printed page, with subtotals, job totals, and grand totals. Before moving on, let's discuss a few of the special printing options available for the Job Cost Analysis report. On the Formatting tab, we have the option of printing the report in portrait or landscape orientation. We can choose to print the report in summary, meaning we will not see printed lines for each cost code, only subtotals and job totals. Here we can set a color for readability bars to be printed on our report. Just check the box and select a color. We'll print the report in a moment to see the effect. On the Special tab, we can set limits for dates and fiscal periods. We can instruct the report to find and include costs that have not yet been posted, but have been entered through payroll and accounts payable. Finally, we can limit the report based on these special factors. Now the report becomes a valuable tool in finding cost codes that are problem areas. When we print the report this time, the lines are more easily read because of our green readability bars. The third level of job cost reporting is the transaction level. Each one of the cost code totals that were printed on the analysis report we just retrieved is really a combination of all the transactions that have been posted to that cost code. We can view the detail level job cost information by selecting the Job Cost Detail listing from the job menu. We aren't going to set any limits for this report, but we will click the Print button. The system will display a report that includes all the transactions charged to a particular cost code, with a total amount for that code. The report then moves on to the next budgeted cost code, showing all its transactions and a total. These totals on the right-hand side of the report will correspond to the cost-to-date amounts on the analysis reports. We've now reviewed all three levels of cost code reporting. Once again, they are job-level reports, which includes summary reports and bonding reports, cost code level or analysis reports, and transaction level reports or job cost detail listings. There are a few other reports on the menu. One of them is the change order listing. This gives us a list of all the change orders that have been entered into the system at a level of detail as selected by you on the limit window for the report. The unit price report shows individual cost codes with their estimated and actual costs displayed in terms of dollar amount per unit. For example, if we created a labor and a material cost code for concrete flatwork, this report would show both our material budget and our labor budget estimated and actual figures in terms of dollar amount per square feet of concrete. If we originally estimated our cost for concrete flatwork at a certain dollar amount per square foot for labor and materials, we can see how close we stuck to that estimate in actual dollars. The job listing report simply shows job information from the job header file. It can be a simple list of job names and addresses, or a comprehensive report showing lots of information entered in the job setup program, including addresses, dates, notes, and so on. The Job Totals by Classification report prints the total number of jobs and total dollar volume for each job classification category. The cost code listing just prints a list of the codes in the cost code dictionary. The equipment usage by job report breaks down the amount of usage our pieces of equipment have logged on our jobs. The last menu item we'll discuss is the Universal Job Reports option. Here we can print a whole group of reports for one given job, or for a range of jobs. On the left is a list of commonly used reports. On the right is the list of these report types that are to be included. I'm going to select just one job and ask for a summary report, an analysis report, a bonding report, and a detail listing. Now I'll tell the system to skip the previewing of these reports to the screen, but to just create one large PDF file with all the reports included. When I click Print, the system generates all the reports, places them in one PDF file, and opens the PDF file for me to preview and save where I want. This concludes this session on job cost reporting.